Feeling overwhelmed? You're not alone. In today's fast-paced world with constant news updates and social media notifications, it's easy to feel flooded and anxious. And the easy route is to blame technology, tell everyone to just get off their phones. But that misses the point. But there are simple tools we can use to regain our calm and center ourselves. Gen Z and millennials are the first generations to grow up with constant access to information. Your friend texts you a depressing article on the state of the world, climate change going on, social injustice, economic uncertainty, the pandemic. These aren't just distant worries, they're real-time crises directly impacting their lives and their hopes for the future. So it's no wonder that anxiety and depression are on the rise among them. And on top of that, we're constantly connected through technology, social media feeds, and news updates and notifications. This all creates a sense of urgency and comparison. This can affect our ability to focus, to think critically, and even process emotions and feelings in healthy ways. And Gen Z happens to be the first generation who've never known a world without constant connection. So it's no wonder that a recent poll shows Gen Z as a generation that's standing out for their pessimism and lack of hope. This inundation of information, comparison, social media, endless news feeds, all affects how our brain develops, our ability to focus, to think critically, and even to process emotion. All of that can be affected. So it's hard to make sense of the world when you're in a place of constant overwhelm. How do you have hope and agency when your thoughts are clouded with constant feedback from the world? So what can we do to help one another through all of this noise and regain a sense of control? For starters, we as a society can listen to one another more. God knows the world needs more of that. But if you are in that majority that's constantly feeling crushed under the world problems, you're not alone. We might turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms to numb the pain. We eat, we drink into numbness to dull the reality of our problems. We use books, movies, games, and music to carry us and transport us to another world where no pain exists, where everything feels right, and everything is easy and good and right. We need to make sure that we're choosing our distractions and our distractions aren't choosing us. So how do we reclaim a sense of control and find calm amidst the chaos? So one powerful technique is grounding. And grounding helps us shift our focus from our racing thoughts to the present moment by connecting us to our physical sensations and the world around us. So that when you see a disheartening news article, you can use a grounding technique. Grounding is about going from here and heady into being into the weight of the body. We restrict what we're feeling by coming up into the head full of thought, whereas grounding is emphasizing the felt experience. So imagine you're squatting to failure, or you're going through a really intense leg day. At the end of the session, your legs might start shaking, they might start trembling, but maybe that's a little too much on the extreme side where we might come out of it even more overwhelmed. So how do we find that happy medium? There are many different grounding techniques, but one might work for one person, might not work for another. So here's a simple one you can try. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 things you can see. There's an olive tree in my back. It's fake. FYI. 4 that you can touch. 3 that you can hear. 2 that you can smell. And 1 that you can taste. Another one is maybe throw something to yourself or to someone. You got to be present to catch something. So I have to focus on trying to catch it, or else it's going to fall. Personally, I like grounding bottom up, meaning like feet first, because it makes me feel connected to the earth, right? And it gives me a sense that I have one foot in this world and one foot in whatever conversation that I'm in, or memory or thought. So that I'm being aware of being in the body and also being in tune with whatever else I'm doing, so I can hold both of these realities at once. So that starts with the feet, and maybe I'm barefoot right now. You guys can try this with me if you're somewhere seated or even standing. So what I want you to do is press into the floor, okay? Focus on the physical sensations. Are your quads getting activated a bit? My quads are. Then let go of pressing down. Do you notice the difference in the sensation between the two of pressing and not pressing. And now press down into the floor and move your feet into circles. And notice the different sensations in your leg. How does it feel to have more sensation in your legs? So if I'm moving back, I can kind of feel it more in my hamstrings. Now, don't press down on the floor anymore. And see if you can still be aware of that sensation in your legs. And if you don't, maybe pause the video, try that again. Press downward with your feet, move it around a bit, move it forward, move it back. What does it feel? Where do you notice the difference? You can also wiggle your toes. Do you feel your toes brushing against the floor? Maybe try walking barefoot. We want access to that felt sense and emotion. And now ask yourself, after applying the grounding techniques, am I at ease with myself? Was I engaging in activity I didn't want to be in? Was I checking out mentally, and why? Was it around a specific person? Was that specific person causing me stress? Was it a coworker? Was it a family member? Was I just mindlessly scrolling? When we are not present in the moment, we allow our consciousness to bring us into a state that clutters our days. It brings in the mental noise. But if we learn to escape the head, we can better listen and live in the present. So these techniques are powerful, but they work best when practiced regularly and hopefully in situations where you're not experiencing the stress at the moment. So you can start by incorporating these short grounding exercises into your daily routine. Maybe you're walking to work, or you're waiting before a meeting, or even brushing your teeth. You can practice this so that when you do face an uncomfortable situation, you have the resilience and repetition to cultivate a sense of calm. So next time you're caught in a doom scroll, the news had you spiraling, maybe you just feel like your brain is just buzzing, or you feel overwhelmed, try grounding yourself. And I'm going to summarize the 3 different grounding techniques on the left side. 5 senses, playing catch with yourself, or if you're like me, you're picking up something from the floor, or pressing with your feet. So start small, even with just one grounding technique, or even for just a minute or 2. I think that can make a difference in the moment. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to support my channel and see more videos like this. We have the agency to break the cycle of overwhelm. Thank you.